I feel like a lot of people who end up in L&D kind of find their way there from other pathways. It's pretty common. Not a lot of people start out saying, I want to be an instructional designer when I grow up, right? But I was working for a small academic publisher, and one of the things that we did was actually work with college students to help them learn how to format their theses and dissertations in a very specific style according to their department.
Mhm.
So as we were doing that, I needed to come up with in-person trainings for them, Q&A sessions, that developed into, real full-on courses to teach them how to do that. So I learned that this was an industry that I could get into and found my way there kind of through that academic publishing job into the kind of corporate training world. So, and I'm very happy to be here. It was kind of just the right place for me and my interests, I think. Yeah, I think, instructional design principles, right? They work no matter what industry you're in, but that focus on your audience is where it really changes, right? So working in QSR, you have to have a really good understanding of, your deskless worker, right? They're on their feet, they're moving quickly. And you have to have that same mindset when you're designing training for them. Whenever we're bringing somebody new on the team, we have them go into the restaurants, work in the restaurants, and go through our training programs before they even sit down at a desk and start working on any projects with us. It's a really important part of the onboarding of anyone new that's going to come work with us. And that's because we want you to understand the audience, understand that mindset. So when you're thinking about that learner, you have to know kind of what is important to them and what they're going to be accessing your system to find and what their urgency is behind it, which is that just-in-time learning that we're often designing toward. I think a lot of the training that we put out ends up being some sort of combination of all of those things. We're almost never picking just e-learning or just a job aid, and that's everything that we're giving to them. So it's really a balance of understanding what are their particular needs for this piece of training that we're putting together. So are they going to be, cleaning a machine, right? So, like a shake machine, for example. They're going to need different things along their learning path, right? So to start out, they might need, some videos to show them how to do it. But as they're learning to do it and they're going along with the process, maybe they just need, that job aid, that poster on the wall that reminds them of what the different steps are, right? So I think it's just a process of kind of understanding what the flow of work is and then understanding what their learning journey is going to be. It absolutely factors in. I know we have a very wide variety of people that work for us. We have, your kids right out of high school who are coming in and this is their first job. And then we have restaurant managers who've been working for us for over 30 years. And they're going to have a very different learning style than someone who's new out of high school, right? So the newer employee out of high school is going to be much more capable with digital technologies, much more comfortable on tablets and devices like that. Whereas someone who's been working there for a longer time or is a little bit less experienced with technology, we find that they tend to need a little bit more help in adopting digital technologies. They also like to have more things in print, more things that they can hold in their hands and flip pages, that sort of thing. So, like with a recent rollout that we did with a new back of house system, we did a lot of the training, e-learning style, lots of videos. But as the rollout was going on, we realized that some of our learners, they wanted something a little bit more flip through, hands-on, like a manual that they could look at. So we developed one for them after we kind of test run our training program so that we had kind of the full spectrum of what everybody needed to really adopt this technology versus just sticking with the digital and staying with it because we wanted all of our learners to have a good experience and be able to adopt. Because we are a small team, it's really important for us to have collaborative tools that we can all access and work on the same project together because it's almost never going to be just one of us that's taking a project all the way from the beginning to the end. And then we rely very heavily on our subject matter experts to come in with us and come along for the journey. So having tools where they can get in there with us, they can see what we're working on, give us immediate feedback. Those are really important to us as well. And just flexibility as well. That's a huge part of making fast, efficient decisions for us is a tool flexible? Can we bring in other things to help enhance what we're working on? We use so many creative tools as well. Like we're all about Canva right now. We've got the Adobe platform. We're playing with, little AI things here and there. So just kind of what are all the tools in our toolbox and how do they work together to make us faster, more efficient, but also really put something together that is appealing to the learner and is going to keep them engaged. I mean, for me, I see AI as something to kind of give back my designers more time to be creative. AI helps us organize notes, put things we can, take notes with our subject matter experts, have the AI kind of take that and chunk it up for us into, smaller learning pieces. And then we do the work to actually bring that to life. We're doing the checks to make sure that everything's correct and validating everything. It's just a tool to kind of take some of the heavier workload that's less creative away from us, right? So, and we'll use it in various different ways, right? To organize information for us, to take notes for us. If we're looking at visual tools, visual design tools, right? We use some AI voiceover for videos to take that and make that faster for us. So there's lots of different ways that you can use it more as an efficiency tool than necessarily as, taking your creative agency away from you. We do a lot of careful analysis over how our videos are performing. So how many of our users are actually watching through to the end of the video? Where's their drop-off point? Are they just watching the beginning and then not getting the rest of the information we need? And that helps us design better videos, right? Because we know that if we're losing them at the end, what was happening at the end? Did they think that they'd already gotten all of the information they needed and that's why they hit the stop button? Or is the video just too long overall? So it really, when you have your analytics in place, it helps you uh, figure out what the right questions are to ask, and then you can go out in the field and actually ask those questions, right? I think analytics are a great place for a first step, right? To actually going out and seeing what's happening. That's a big part of what we do as well, is just making sure we're staying close in the field and we're seeing what's really happening out there.